Hey, welcome to We Wine Whenever. I'm Wendy,
I'm Kelly.
and today we have a special guest all the way from Florida, Olivia. Hello, Olivia.
Hi, Olivia.
Hi, guys. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for
being
joining
on.
us. We are talking about Southern Hospitality, Season 3, Episode 10, and the reunion. And we're just going to kind of give you the whole season at once, to be honest with you. So I'm going to jump in. We start out with 1 week before the prom. Emmy is planning the prom, and 3 days before the prom, the girls are shopping for the prom. And then 2 days before the prom, Michaels finally asks Preston.
That was cute.
That was cute. What do you think of Michaels? What are your thoughts on him as a newbie?
I love him.
Yeah.
I want to be his friend. He is just so. I just love the energy he brings. I honestly and I thought his story and everything. It just really touched me and stuff like that. So
I
I
totally
think he's really
agree.
cool. Yeah.
And I'm glad how brave of him to tell his story. And I'm so glad he did. His stepfather being on and being so supportive. To me, unfortunately, there are young gay people out there who don't have supportive families, but he showed that, it might not be your first generation family,
Right.
but if you hopefully there's somebody else you could reach out beyond that would be supportive for you.
Yeah. I also love that he also has the cast too to just back him up with that.
Yeah.
I just thought he brought, it was really nice to see that on live TV.
Yeah, for sure.
You are the same age as him. And how mature is he to be running that place, to be the assistant general manager? That's amazing. Can you imagine running that place?
Absolutely not.
Oh, and yeah, right.
I would
at 50,
lose my
quite
mind.
honestly. But he has so many things that are for a parent to be proud of.
And he's going to school.
Right.
They said he's going to school too.
He's a full-time student and manages Republic. Why? How could you not be so
right? Exactly.
overly proud of your son?
Exactly.
It's very inspiring.
Yeah.
Yeah. So then we see one day before the prom, Maddie is sitting on the balcony, and Joe shows up with his Chevy SS and his radio. And what movie was that from, Kel? Say Anything. And he asks her to the prom. Have you seen that movie, Say Anything?
I have not.
It's Andrew. Who does it? No, who does it?
I was just trying. John Cusack.
Yeah, I was going to say it's not Andrew. It's John Q. Yeah.
It's like a Brat Pack movie.
It's an oldie.
Like an 80s kind of, almost
Yep.
like Can't Buy Me Love.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
okay.
my favorite. That's my favorite
Yeah, that's
rom-com.
one of my favorites. Love Patrick Dempsey.
Yeah. Yep.
So Emmy's expecting this prom to be everything she ever expected. And I just feel so bad for Emmy that she is so delusional. It breaks my heart.
You know how I feel. I'm probably the only one in America who was rooting for Will and Emmy.
I was too.
I really am.
I was.
And listen, I'm not saying that he didn't cheat on her. I'm really not saying that. But I just want to see them succeed. Because I didn't like when the three guys were golfing and he was like, he clearly didn't word it that way. Well, I guess, I'll marry her now to pay her back. Obviously, but you could tell he meant she's always been there for me. And I'm ready for that. I'm ready to settle down. And they were like, that's so unromantic. All right, Joe, you're ready to impregnate Maddie. And she, just to stop her from DJing all over the country. So talk about one extreme to the other.
Yeah, exactly.
I like them, though, Will and Emmy. I'm rooting for them.
I love Emmy.
Yes.
I have mixed feelings with Will. I think he went to law school and got a big head. And I think that led him to, they were both in different places. I feel like that just led him to just discover other people.
Right.
You know what I don't like? I don't like that Emmy's putting all of her eggs in Will's basket. That her plan has always been to marry him and be his wife when he's an attorney. Why didn't you have a plan for yourself? That's what I don't like.
Think I know I was Emmy at one point. That's why I'm really rooting for her.
Yeah.
Didn't work out for me and I'm happily married now, obviously, but I think that's what you do when you're in a long-term relationship in your early 20s, right? She sees a future with him and she wants that future.
Yeah.
So, but she did. Listen, she was the AGM last year. I don't know exactly what happened. She was not this year.
Yeah.
But
she said it was too much for her.
Yeah.
I just wish Emmy would give herself some grace and be like, you know what? Maybe what everyone's saying is true and let me reflect on it.
Exactly.
And then they can maybe take a break and figure out things themselves. I just think right now she's carrying his mental health and on top of hers, and she's not really focusing on her. She's just focusing on him.
Yeah.
And I think it's just leading her to have these crash outs, which are,
Yeah.
I feel they break my heart. I'm like, I couldn't.
She's definitely feeling something, because you're right. Like, anytime somebody says something to her, she breaks down. And I'm a crier, so I get it. But it's like anything somebody says to her, she breaks down.
Especially like earlier in the season when she was accused of taking the money from the girls with their cards, whatever it was.
The
Yeah,
dresses,
for their,
yeah.
for the uniforms.
And it just something so little, it just took her over the edge. And I was
Yeah.
just like, oh no, something's not right.
Right. Like, I would have been like, fuck you. I didn't do that.
Yeah.
Don't ask me again. But she like,
Yeah, but even still, then Will's like, well, did you?
Yeah.
I mean, seriously? What?
Yeah.
I mean,
That was
on camera. Like, at least wait until you get home when you're not on camera to ask her.
yeah, I know. He did not.
Maybe he was
help
trying
that.
to be funny.
No, he wasn't. He just,
he said it to be a jerk.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
He did.
Yeah.
Then we see, let's see, Grace Lily. We find out that the whole problem with Grace Lily and Maddie is that she slept with O'Sheen, who is Maddie's best friend and roommate, Eva's old boyfriend.
He was like a hookup buddy for Eva.
Well,
I mean,
I think
it
it's
didn't sound like
situationship.
it was a situation.
Yeah.
It didn't sound very serious.
I mean, what do they see in O'Sheen? Am I missing something?
What
I thought
a
the same thing.
tool.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know.
The whole milk thing, like, what?
No,
But
right?
I have to say though, I love Grace Lily because she just is so TV. She is just so funny. I just love it. I mean, some of the things she does, girl, come on, but I get it.
She was great on the reunion.
Oh yeah.
And she even said to Emmy at one point in the reunion, like, maybe this career isn't for you. Maybe being on TV isn't for you. I mean, somebody said it in one of the episodes that Emmy and Will, like, said to the rest of the cast, like, don't talk about our relationship. That really backfired on them, but...
Yes, it sure did. It sure did. So then Bradley, TJ, and me are all getting ready for the prom, and they're hanging out together. And Bradley comes in with the tea, who Will is seeing on campus. And listen, what I don't like about this whole situation is that TJ and Bradley keep sticking their nose in it. It's like, grow the F up. This has nothing to do with you. If you really care about Emmy, then tell Emmy on the side.
There's two reasons they're doing it.
I agree.
They're both, well, apparently Bradley does have a girlfriend, but doesn't act like it. They're both miserable. They're single and miserable. TJ is a miserable fuck. And that's why he can't stay out of everybody's business. And then he starts crying on the reunion, like, no.
Yeah.
I think for me, like, I have a love-hate with TJ because I feel like TJ's like funny when he's got like the little comments he makes about like some of the cast. Like, I'm like I understand his frustration and all that stuff, but then like he also just goes around and he's just telling everybody all the secrets, and it's
It's
Yeah,
messy.
And then doesn't
yeah.
acknowledge it, like doesn't
take
to it.
accountability.
Right.
Then we see Mickles and Preston are having the conversation about being exclusive. So that was good to see. This is weird. So they're all at the place and Emmy is out on the porch with Will and they're not talking to anybody. Did you see that? Everyone is like interacting within that mansion and those two are just sitting out on the porch together.
I think at this point, they both had it with the season because they knew the entire season revolved around rumors of him cheating on her. So, and then we find out that Will made the phone call earlier in the day or sent a text message or something. So they knew this was going to get blown up at the prom. So they were probably just sitting there waiting for it.
Right.
Like, why go in and start dancing with these people when we know in 10 minutes the cameras are going to be in our face and they're going to be spewing, nonsense or rumors or whatever, even if it's true. They're going to be, talking about us.
I also think like Austin was kind of just like exaggerating the story a bit.
Totally.
I don't actually think he was making calls to everybody and things like that. I think it probably was just a simple, hey, did you say this rumor? And he probably was like, no.
Right.
End of story. And I kind of feel like Austin may have gotten that rumor, not from the brother, but it was definitely from the girlfriend.
Totally.
I think it was definitely from her. She was a source. And he just made it seem like, oh, well, her brother's in law school. So it makes sense he would tell her, which I'm like, I don't think. Boys are boys. Like, you know.
And if that were true, so say Austin's girlfriend was going to go to prom with him, and then they say who it is, and Will says, that's my friend, and I was in New York with Emmy, and my friend Emmy knew about the friend, but like that's totally defending himself, and the girlfriend would be like standing there like an asshole.
Yeah.
So that's probably why she didn't go.
Listen, I don't like Austin at all. I really don't. I mean,
I
what
don't
did he
like
bring to this
any of-
season?
I don't like him either.
I didn't like any of the new three, Molly, Lake, or Austin. Lake I didn't like her at all. And I
had
thought
mixed
she looked like a
feelings.
total bitch at the reunion, making her faces, making her side eyes, rolling her eyes. I didn't like any of them.
I agree. At the reunion, I thought she was a bit jerky. I was, come on, girl.
Yeah.
You've been in that place too.
Yeah, exactly.
And she's my age. She is 22, so I'm like,
Yeah.
So it made sense for her to be more like, I don't know,
Yeah.
she felt the vibe was like more young and
Yeah.
she's like, yeah.
So then Grace Lily shows up at the prom with O'Sheen. I mean, come on.
Yeah, that wasn't good.
Yeah. She was just asking for it that time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She looked great, though.
She did.
I think she's
And-
beautiful.
Do we believe that Maddie hooked up with O'Sheen?
100%.
Well, I don't think it was a complete hookup. She admitted to, what did she say?
She said they made out.
Yes. I mean, that's just a makeout. I mean, I believe it was a makeout.
I believe Grace Lily.
Oh, you do? I don't.
See,
She
I
doubled
also
down on
believe
the
Grace.
reunion.
You do? Okay.
She doubled down on the reunion. He
Mhm.
said, do you stand by your... And she said, I do.
Okay. I don't believe her.
Because I think Grace Lily might be a little delusional, but a liar, I'm not, I don't know. Sometimes I feel like she just likes to twist things instead of, I don't know.
Yeah. But if she were lying about it and then, Andy asks her on the reunion, I feel like she would have been like, maybe I misunderstood or maybe I heard something different. She said, I do. I stand by it.
No, I was gonna say at the end of the day, they're letting a man come in between them, and it's so frustrating because I'm like, the problem is him,
Yeah.
not you guys. That's it.
So true.
He
So
clearly
true.
didn't have any respect for Eva
Mm-mm.
or
No.
Maddie or Grace Lily. He
No.
knew what mess that was going to cause.
Yeah.
I don't know if you remember, Olivia, but Kelly had brought up that O'Sheen was on Vanderpump Rules at a party with Brock when they were in Ariana and Tom's backyard for a pool party.
Oh, no
Um,
way.
He grabbed Lala's ass and
Oh,
Lala was like,
God.
you don't know me like that.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
she like put him in
Yeah.
his place.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
I have
because
to go
he's
back.
friends with Brock. I guess they're both from Australia, right?
Oh yeah, that kind of checks out. Yeah.
Yeah. And I think they
Yeah.
played rugby together or something.
Yes, that's it. I think that's it. yeah.
So, yeah, I was like, wow, that's kind of
Yeah, that's
interesting.
weird.
Maddie starts yelling at Grace Lily at the party, and she says, I'm your best friend. And she says, no, you're not.
Yeah, that was hard to watch.
I was like, oh, she's like, Maddie's like, that's it, I'm done. Like, okay. I mean, at that point, Maddie had tried to
Multiple times.
make
Yeah.
everything good for Grace Lily, and Grace Lily just wasn't having it. And for why? Why? Like, what reason?
Yeah, Maddie has been like such a good friend to her. It was just crazy to me. Why are you saying this?
And that's true when in Vegas, every single one of those people sitting at the table who had been friends with Grace Lily for a long time said it. Like, Maddie's your ride or
Right.
die.
Right.
Always has your back, always defends you. So it wasn't just Maddie saying it was everybody else who
Right.
probably have like kind of,
Yeah.
put some distance between them and Grace Lily because of her actions.
I would have not given her any sympathy for being late to my DJ performance. You were supposed to be there on time to sing, and then you were there an hour late.
I know.
Yeah.
No. Maddie gave her too much. Yeah. No.
Yeah.
And thank God she didn't have a microphone because she sounded horrible.
Yeah.
She would have sounded horrible live because when you're out, not that I have any type of singing career at all, but if I'm drinking and smoking the night before and then try to sing something the next morning, it's not going to be good. It's not good anyway, but it's certainly not going to be good after a night out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
Then Michaels is the one who goes over to Will and says to him, the reason Austin's girlfriend is not here is because you were texting her brother. And now I really honestly think that was not his place to do that. I don't know why he felt like, I'm going to get involved in this. I'm going to go solve this.
I'm sure a producer was encouraging him to do it, being that he's close with Emmy.
Yeah, I mean, that could be it. That
Did
could
you
be
see
it.
him on Watch What Happens Live, though? Andy Cohen asked him, did you ever believe the rumor that Will cheated on Emmy, and he said no. He said he never believed the rumor. Michaels did.
How could you not believe the rumor?
I don't want to believe the rumor.
I mean, I feel like on the reunion, she all but admitted that he cheated on her and she knows about it.
She did. I think that was definitely what she was admitting. Yeah.
Yeah. At the reunion. Yeah.
I guess he was just trying to be a good friend.
Yeah, exactly. I think he's the only person besides Maddie who've actually been there for Emmy this entire season. So like, I think that was just him trying to diffuse it and calm it down.
Yeah.
Then TJ drops the bomb that he knows who Will cheated with. And it was the one that you lived with and that you took to prom. And then Emmy's like, oh, well, I know who that is. We were all together in New York at Watch What Happens Live when she stayed at the place. So then you start to wonder, like, do you think that really is the person that they're all saying?
And maybe he really is friends with her. And if Emmy was away skiing for prom, maybe they just went as friends.
Right.
Yeah, I don't know if I believe it's her. I feel like at the timelines, I feel like their story made more sense. Like he just let her stay there, whatever. He wasn't even there.
Right.
And then by the time he came back, she was gone. And I believe that. But I think TJ was kind of just grasping at it and hoping it would trigger something in them that Will would be like showing like some emotion about it. But instead they like deflect it.
You know, honestly, if Will made that phone call earlier in the day, Austin's girlfriend's brother, whoever he called, could have been like, listen, this is what they're alleging. He could have given him kind of a heads up, which would have given Will and Emmy an opportunity to be like, okay, well, this is what we say to that.
Yeah, it could be. I mean, anything's possible. And after this happens, that's when Emmy and Will say that, that's it, we're going to leave. Okay, go leave your party.
Your own
and they
party.
leave. And then Michaels calls everyone inside so that they can announce the prom king and queen. And, guess who it was? Addie and Joe.
I know Joe loved it.
Oh,
for sure.
Yep.
I mean, I'm happy for them, and I hope they last too. I really think that they're cute. I just think he's got to pump the brakes, man, because he's going to scare her right out of that relationship.
I think it's going to be almost like a Paige and Craig situation that we have.
100%.
That's what I've been watching. Her career is coming up, and he's like, I want to get married. I want to have kids. And she's like, no, not yet. Not yet. Nope. Not for a while.
No way. They're so young.
No. Mm-hmm.
How old are they?
I think they're 25.
Yeah,
26,
oh my God, you have like a solid 5 years before you should be thinking about that. Having kids and getting married, right?
I also just love Joe. I think he's so funny.
Me too.
He's sweet. I do think he's a sweet guy. I think that he's been in love with her ever since he met her. And like, we all saw that. We all know that. And the fact that he finally got the girl that he loves, I too, I'm rooting for them too.
Mm-hmm.
But I think he's so scared to lose her because of her career, but he, like Emmy, should be focusing on what he's going to do, even if that's staying at Republican, like what Leva said to him, basically at the reunion. Focus on your career.
She even had that chat with him that her and Lamar talked about it. Like she and Lamar couldn't see him going further. Maybe they open up another place down there or that he's a part of, an owner of, or like a Tom spinoff.
Exactly.
Yes, yeah. And he's so likable too. It's like so easy for him to just branch out. But I think he might be a little scared.
Yeah.
I think that's why he's holding himself back.
I think he lacks some confidence.
Mm-hmm.
By the way, did you guys see what's going on with Lamar and Leva with their new daiquiri?
Yes,
no.
I've heard little bits of it, but I'm not like exactly sure what actually happened. But I saw she like made an apology post or something like that.
So I don't, like you, like I've kind of been getting bits and pieces, but allegedly, this is all allegedly, they opened a new space down in South Carolina. And apparently all of their spaces after 8 o'clock have a dress code. So people were online to enter this place and people were already in. And it was like a grand opening. So the clock strikes 8 and the manager comes out. And allegedly, the manager stood next to 5 black men and started saying that Jordans, specifically Jordans, were not allowed. Athletic pants and something else, maybe jeans, were not allowed. And the 5 gentlemen standing right next to them were wearing all of these things. Meanwhile, people inside were also wearing these things.
Because it was before 8 when they got
It was before 8 when they walked in. So some big TikToker was eating outside at the space and filmed it and started reporting on it, and it went viral. Lamar put out a statement basically saying, I have dress codes at my spaces after 8 o'clock. Everybody knows this. Like, I'm a man of color.
Right.
My wife is a woman of color. We are not racist. We are not, you
Right.
know, he put out a statement saying all this. So it'll be interesting to see what happens. But, you know, if you have a dress code, you have a dress code. It just, this TikToker made it seem like the manager went out there specifically to address this group of men.
I'm sure that that's
that's
not what
definitely
happened.
messy.
Very messy.
Yeah. And I do know a lot of places when they're like very like high-end restaurants, they have a dress code,
Yeah.
but I don't know. It's a little messy.
Very messy.
I mean, Bar A has a dress code. Did you know that? I almost
Bar
fell
A?
over.
Really? Bar A?
Bar A has a dress code because I know, I'm not going to mention names because I'm not allowed to, but I know people that have been in my house that have gone to Bar A, not that reside at my house, I'll just put that way, and they had to leave and go get a different shirt. Or
What
the
kind
shorts,
of shirt do you have to wear to Bar A?
no athletic stuff. You can't wear athletic shorts either. You cannot wear athletic shorts. You have to wear like,
So you can't wear like a Nike t-shirt.
no.
Wow. When did Bar A get so bougie?
I don't know.
Meanwhile,
That is
girls would
wild.
probably go in there with crop tops and shorts up their ass.
Well, that's allowed.
Totally allowed.
I think
Hey, I
it's
love my
encouraged.
crop tops.
Yeah, not only is it allowed, it's encouraged. If I could pull it off, I would. I just can't.
So then after they leave and they crown the king and queen, this whole next section I thought was a little weird. They showed 10 days ago at Republic, a producer says, "Hey, Will," and Will has this hot mic, and he's saying that Emmy has screenshots of all the text and it will ruin everyone's life. And I don't know if I want to bring it up. It will be a big atom bomb, he says. I don't think we really have seen Maddie activated this year. It would be a reunion conversation for sure. So that was 10 days after the finale.
I thought it
Or-
was 10 days before. Was it before or after?
I
Well,
think it was before the reunion.
It was
Before the reunion.
but
Yeah.
it was 10 days. So 10 days before the reunion, but after the finale had filmed.
Yeah.
I don't know. So Will is at the reunion and he's backstage and he's not coming out.
I didn't
and we-
like that.
No. And we see that Maddie is visibly upset. And Andy said, he says, well, why isn't Will coming out? Is he quitting the show? And Emmy's like, well, I mean, he hasn't said that he's quitting the show. And Andy said, well, you spent the entire season defending him. And now you're here out here alone again. Like, if he's not coming out, then
I don't think he had to quit the show. He didn't show up at the reunion. I mean, he's probably fired from the show, right?
to be honest with you, I didn't even know he was still on the show because we saw him so little.
Yeah, I'm not too sure. I don't think he would get fired, but I definitely think he would leave.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. If I was him, I'd leave.
I
Yeah.
would too, especially
After all
after not
that-
going on the reunion and defending her.
Because
Because
at
now
that
you
point,
look
you
like
might
a
as well.
total douche.
Yes. And Emmy says, well, my head is clear today and I'm okay. And then Maddie's crying and she's like, well, I would love for Will to be here, because I'd like to talk to him. And Andy's like, well, what happened? And she said, last night, Will came and told Joe, came to our hotel room and spilled something. And they're like, well, what did he spill? Trevor never cheated on Maddie with Sammy.
That's crazy.
And when she said that, I was like, wait, what? Like, how is this coming out now?
That just shows you what a miserable F Bradley is.
Yeah.
All because she said that he got, oral sex in the alleyway behind the bar one time while he had a girlfriend, which is probably true.
It's definitely
Yeah.
true.
Yeah.
Yeah. Especially like I feel like with TJ as well. Like I think he was upset that Joe Bradley led him on, and like all the things he's also said about everybody in that group. I think it stems from like that whole issue. Yeah,
Yeah.
I think the
don't
both of them
even-
just like no.
Yeah. I don't even think, listen, whatever that story was with TJ and Joe is clearly not gay. You could say that people are bisexual. You could say they're fluid. You can say a lot of things, but this guy is clearly heterosexual. He clearly likes women. So I think that TJ misread something.
Mm-hmm.
And I think he probably really was in love with Joe. And I think he did go around telling people that Joe was gay.
Well, he
yes,
did.
definitely.
Because
Yeah.
that's just how messy he is.
He did. And listen, like Andy said, I give Joe a lot of credit for even having that conversation with him at the bar on camera. And even to be so graceful during the reunion.
Yeah.
You know, when TJ was breaking down and crying, Joe was still there for him.
Yeah, which...
You know, I give him a lot of credit. I really do. I think that he's a stand-up guy. I think he's a stand-up guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Emmy's, you know, what I think is screwed up about the whole thing is that Emmy had this information for how long, you know, and Maddie was the one that was there for Emmy this whole season. You think that she would have not allowed Will to tell her this the night before the reunion.
It was just to vindicate themselves.
Yeah,
like,
it was
Brad's
just
lying. He was lying about that. And now
But
he's lying
again,
about this.
You're hurting Maddie.
Sure.
Like, why would you hurt Maddie like that? She was the one who was there for you. I just
I'm
think,
sure that's why
Yeah.
Will wouldn't go on camera, because that's the question he would have been asked.
Mm-hmm.
Because even though Emmy was in on it, he's the one that went to the producers, and he, you know.
It was all just to take the heat away from them
Yeah.
and their relationship. So, like,
Yeah.
let's focus on Maddie's ex relationship. Like,
And maybe they figured at this point she's so happy with Joe
Mhm.
and enough time has passed that it won't be as harsh as it would have been to tell her right after. But that's the thing with TJ and Bradley. Like, they did that whole thing last season, right? Was it last season where Maddie kicked that girl out of the house? I mean, you could tell that girl was
yes,
lying.
it was,
I mean,
yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
she totally was lying. But Bradley
from
and
that-
TJ started that whole thing too.
Yeah. Even from that episode when Brad was like, "Did you guys make out?" And she was like, "Yeah." But you can kind of tell, like, the yeah was just like, it just didn't seem sincere. Like, so I was like, no, she's
She looked
definitely
like she was
lying.
going to laugh any second.
Yeah.
They probably had to do that like 30 times to get the
Oh,
right
yeah.
take.
But I'm glad she's not in that relationship anymore. I did not like Trevor.
No.
I mean, no, Trevor was no good. But then Andy says, so everyone in the group knew that Trevor didn't cheat on Maddie and nobody told Maddie. And Grace Lily raises her hand and she's like, well, I knew. I'm like, okay. And then
They
Andy's,
all knew. So
yeah.
well, Joe didn't know.
no, Joe knew.
Joe knew, but he wasn't a part of that group text.
He wasn't, and when she was with Trevor, I mean, he's had how long have they been together? He's had the whole time they've been together to tell her. But he said that, you know, he wasn't allowed to spend time with her when she was with Trevor.
Right.
So he didn't have that opportunity. And listen, I don't blame any one of them for not saying it, because at the time they're friends with all of them. They're friends with TJ and Bradley. Like, it doesn't mean that Trevor never cheated on her. Clearly the guy wasn't good for her. So it was almost like, all right, well, we did her a favor. We got rid of this fucking guy.
I mean, I'm sure he's probably cheated on her, but, like, just not with that girl.
No, it's Sammy.
Right.
But we saw him with Sammy in the video when he was out. Like, that was Sammy in that video. So there was definitely something going on that we all saw with our own two eyes. So what else? So Emmy says that it was supposed to come out last year before the reunion. Because that's what Andy's like, well, why is this coming out now? And she's like, well, it was supposed to come out last year before the reunion. But then Joe had this thing where he slept with Luann, and Joe's like, made out. And she's like, okay, made out. And, you know, so that's what the focus was on, not on this. And I'm like, I don't know if that's true.
I know. I don't know if it's true either, but that was a big thing. And that's what started the whole downfall of TJ and Joe's friendship.
Yes, that is what, yes.
This is what I love about Maddie and Joe, though. And this is like, when you're married for as long as we've been married, like, this is how we would be. But the fact that they're so new in their relationship and they were both like this. So when I think it was on Watch What Happens Live, Andy mentioned Joe hooking up with Luann, and Maddie was like, yeah, she's a fucking icon. Like, good for him. Like, of course.
Yes.
And then even the scene where Grace Lily said something about Maddie hooking up with O'Sheen, and Joe was just like, la, 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 la.
He's like,
exactly. Like, it's a mature way to handle those things instead of being like, oh my God, like jealous, even though everything that happened prior to you being with each other.
Right.
Yeah. I also didn't like when TJ was saying that once a cheater, always a cheater. Because I was like, I feel like Joe would not cheat on Maddie. He finally got the girl. He's not letting her go. Like, that was just like low of him to say.
Very low. Very low. He's the villain.
Yeah.
TJ's the villain.
But that's what makes the show.
You need one.
Him and Grace.
Yeah.
Without them, I feel like it would just be all about Emmy and Maddie and that whole stuff, but love
I
that.
got nervous in the beginning that we weren't seeing Grace Lily. I thought, like, did she leave the show? I even Googled it. Got nervous.
Yeah, I thought she did too, but then when she came on, I was like, all right, no. I was
There
like, she's not
she
going
is.
anywhere.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's kind of just like with Mia too, because Mia doesn't work there anymore, so we can only see them when we see them.
Right.
Levis said, I don't really think that there's any chance of Grace Lily coming back to Republic because of all the problems that were there when she was working there.
Yeah, I mean, I think she said she'd be open to a conversation.
Yeah.
Like, and hopefully, well, I don't know though. Then she showed up at prom with O'Sheehan, so it
Yeah,
doesn't seem like
I just,
doesn't
yeah.
seem- no.
I think Grace digs her own hole.
Yeah. But she has her fashion line coming out and she's modeling.
Yeah, she does.
and
Yes, yeah.
Her music career. So she's got a lot of balls in the air, Grace Lily.
Yeah.
Yes, her wavy baby.
Her wavy
Mhm.
baby. When
I
she
just-
started
yeah.
this,
Yeah.
It's so funny.
the girl's like, what are you doing?
The best was when she was trying to relate to TJ at the reunion. And she was
Oh my
like,
God.
I was like, oh no. It's like, that is not the time. Not the time, not
What'd
the
she say?
place.
I've scissored a woman.
Yeah, she was like,
Yes.
I a woman. Yeah. And I was like, okay, like, cool, but no one, it's not the time for that. Like, good for you. I just thought it was so funny. I'm like, her timing is just,
Yeah.
it's so good.
She got best dressed as far as I'm concerned. She always gets best dressed.
Yes.
Grace Lily.
Her style is like, ugh, I love it.
Yep.
I
Yep.
also say I love Mia. I think
Me
she's
too.
just like very like straightforward, like get the stuff done. Like I
Yes.
just love her. And I want her like more around, but
Yeah. On the show. Sure.
I like Mia too, and I like that she had her own storyline last year. Like we saw her more even after she got fired. We got to see
Yeah.
her with her father, and like she has other things going on in her life. So I wish they would explore that. You know?
Yeah.
yeah.
I mean, even the whole thing, like she did the beauty. Why didn't we get to see that? Like,
I know.
Yeah.
I mean, she
I was
didn't
upset
win,
about
but
that.
still, like we should have seen that.
Where
Don't
was
you
she?
think?
Trinidad?
I don't know where she was.
I
I
forget.
Yeah,
don't know.
forget. Maybe whatever country it was, though, didn't.
They couldn't film.
But I would have loved to see that. Like 'cause
Yeah.
she's just the best. I love her.
Or
Mhm.
even if somebody went there with an iPhone and filmed it, and we got iPhone footage. Do you know what I'm saying?
Like
We
the little
didn't see
snippets.
her like at all on stage.
No.
No,
Oh,
just when
yeah.
she came back.
Yeah, like
And
at
she-
least
I
if
think
her
she got
parents were
third?
there.
Would she get like third place, something like
I
that?
think
Or-
so. Yeah.
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 And then what happens? So then they play all the clips of Joe and Maddie together, and Andy says, Joe, like, what's it like to date the person you fantasized for all your life? He's like, it's amazing. Like, it's amazing to be with my best friend, and you can see it. Like,
Yeah.
he believes that this is the one that he's going to spend the rest of his life with.
And I really hope so. I
Oh,
hope they
me
last.
too.
I was rooting for him like from season 1. I was like, I know.
Yep.
I was like, you got it. Just keep pushing.
Yep.
And now that they're finally together, I'm like, no. I'm like, don't. You're pushing her away with this whole marriage stuff. I'm like, don't do it. Don't do it.
Yeah. He has to back off a little bit. Well, it actually
Yeah.
seems like he has, right?
Mhm.
Yeah. He had to back off because
Yeah, no. I was like, I don't want to see another Paige and Craig because I don't
No.
think I can handle that heartbreak.
I know. Thank God they only live 45 minutes away from each other and not different,
Yeah,
in
it's
different
different, yeah.
states.
Exactly.
What do you think about the Paige and Craig thing?
Ugh, I'm devastated. I love both of them,
Yeah.
but I think I understand where Paige is coming from because it's like her career is just taking off with Giggly Squad and stuff like that. Like
Yeah.
she has no time for like the marriage part, like the kids, like that aspect. Like I think Craig is at the age where he is, and I thought since they don't live together, they didn't have that period where they like do that. It wasn't gonna last. I knew it
Right.
wasn't gonna last, but I didn't want to believe it
I know.
because I was like, I was rooting for them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was
And I
rooting
love
for
Craig.
them. I was rooting for them also, but I knew when I started, because I listened to Giggly Squad, and I knew how she was touring all over the place. And when the rumor came out, I said, Kelly and I talked about it. I said, I think it's probably true because she has so much going on. And the more you watch it on Summer House, and we saw, you're still seeing it on, Southern charm. They're just in different places, and that's okay.
Totally. Yeah.
But I
Yeah.
still think people are villainizing her, saying that she led him on, and I don't think that's the case.
No, not at all. I just think
I
people.
think that people are villainizing her because she was seen out with that other guy. Listen, she's single. She could do whatever she wants. And I don't think she cheated on him. I don't think
No,
there was
not at
anybody
all.
else. I mean, listen, maybe she met this person or something and found him attractive and felt something, and maybe she thought to herself, I really shouldn't be feeling this way if I'm truly committed and 100% in with Craig. So that was probably a red flag for her.
Yeah.
But I
Yeah,
don't think she
definitely.
did anything prior to breaking up with Craig. I think she's
No.
a better person than that.
I think it was like a mutual breakup, but I feel like Craig is kind of playing the victim a little bit. Like, I just feel like he's trying to be like, I was blindsided, but I think he knew. I think he knew it was going to come to that point.
She asked him to buy a ring. He said that, didn't he?
He
They
did
were talking
say
about
that.
a ring.
Well, we haven't seen it
Yeah.
officially yet. Like, we
Yeah.
haven't seen it.
Yeah.
I think we need to wait and see a little bit more.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But he did say on Watch What Happens Live that he did not want the relationship to end. It was not mutual. She said in the podcast it was mutual.
Mhm.
And I know she said that just to protect him, because when she did make the announcement, she said, I have nothing bad to say about him. He treated me well. Like, it was great. It was a great relationship. It's just, it's just not going to work for us going forward. And that's that. And that happens.
Mhm.
I mean,
And I think that they should both stop saying things. And I think that the Summer House cast members should keep their mouths
Yes.
shut.
I
Did you see
agree.
Kyle on Watch What Happens Live? He's
I
the
can't.
worst person in the world. He really is.
He is. I
Or
do
maybe not in
not
the
like
world,
Kyle.
but when
No, but he's definitely not great.
Andy asked him, who do you think has the bigger wallet, Craig or Hannah? And he said, Hannah. Give me a fucking break. Listen, I'm very happy for Hannah. I wasn't a huge fan of hers when she was on Summer House, but I'm very happy for her. And she's definitely making bank. And she's definitely on a great path right now to become hugely successful.
Oh, yeah.
But there is no way she has more money than Craig. And Craig clearly has more money than Kyle. And Kyle is just so bitter and jealous.
Mhm.
And it's not the fact that people are talking smack about you that your lover boy is not selling. Your lover boy is probably not that good, and it's super expensive. So stop calling slander on people. If people still liked your product, they'd buy it.
we
People
never
just don't like
tried
your
it.
product.
Yeah.
We never
I've
tried it.
I've tried it before.
Is
I
it
think-
any good?
I mean, it's just like a hard seltzer, like a hard tea. Like, it's nothing crazy, you know?
Right.
I mean,
I
like,
went
it's
to
good, but
order
it's
it.
definitely overpriced.
I went to order it during quarantine because that's when I started watching Summer House.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, that's ridiculous. It was so
Yeah.
expensive. I didn't get it.
Well, now they have the spritz stuff out, and that's just a 4-pack is almost like $30. I'm like,
That's what I saw.
I'm not paying $30 for 4 drinks that I can make myself. Like,
And you're not even going to get buzzed off of because there's
No.
well, I wouldn't,
yeah,
That would be nothing. But that's exactly what I saw. 4 drinks, and it was like
Yep.
$25, I think, like before shipping. I'm
Yeah.
like, okay, yeah, we're not
and
doing
another
that.
one, it was like, I looked and it was like, you can make your own bundle, but it was only 3 drinks, and that came out to $25. I was like, I'm not.
No
I'm
way.
like, I'm like, a case of High Noon for 8 is literally $20. Like,
Right.
I'm not paying. Yeah, no.
No.
It's crazy.
Honestly, they're not that great. Like, I mean, I haven't had his, but I don't think High Noon or Truly or
Truly,
I don't.
yeah.
I don't
They all
think.
have a bad aftertaste.
Yeah, I don't really think any of them. Like, I don't know.
I
Not
think
my
the only
go-to.
ones I like are Surfsides, and I will
Oh,
stand
I
by
haven't
that.
tried those.
They're very good.
Surfsides are not carbonated, correct?
No, they're not. They're not.
I would like that.
So
I don't
they're
like
like-
the carbonated ones.
No, they're perfect. They're they're easy to go down. Doesn't bother you. It's good.
Yeah.
They're like a lemonade or an iced tea kind of thing,
yeah.
right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
I would like that. Yeah.
My favorite's a peach tea. It's the best.
Okay,
that
maybe we'll
sounds
try
good.
that.
Yeah.
And they come in 4-packs too. So you can do a 4-pack of green tea or a 4-pack of raspberry tea. They have a whole bunch of flavors.
Nice.
Yeah. You just
We'll have
promoting
to
them.
try them. So then what else happened? So then, TJ starts crying and, he's, you don't know how hard this has been for me. And he really is crying. I mean, I think it was real. I think that those were real emotions. Maddie grabs his hand and Joe, that's when Joe says, I think that, our conversation was still good. He has all these people, all these people there are still his friends. They will still stand by him. And he said, you've been hurt a lot. And then that's when Leva jumps in and says, yeah, because he's been with, I guess Michael's jumped in and said there's a lot of straight guys that like to queer bait in Charleston, which is
Awful.
horrible.
Yeah,
that's
that's
horrible.
really
It's horrible.
So
And-
do they pretend to be gay? Is that what it is? Or they have tendencies and fool around with gay men, but then act like they don't know them because they're straight in their real life? Like, you know what I mean? Like, is it like a secret part of their life? Is that what queer bait means?
I'm not exactly sure. I think it's more of just like portraying
I think
to
it
be
is
gay. Like,
I think they have a secret. I think it's a secret. Like for them, they may be attracted to somebody but they do have a girlfriend or they do have another life. So they want to keep it a secret.
So TJ necessarily or Michael's, they are the secret.
Yes.
Got it.
And that's why he has been hurt a lot because he's, had what he thought were real relationships with people only to find out that they weren't real.
Right.
It was just, a front, like behind the scenes, a secret.
Right.
And he says if Grace Lily still likes to keep it wavy baby. And she's like,
Obvi.
I'm still keeping it wavy baby. And she talks about what she's doing, her fashion line and her modeling and her singing. Where does she model?
I don't know. I didn't even
In
know
her
she
room?
modeled.
In front of her
Yeah.
phone?
Probably.
Listen, I love her, and this is no shade at all because have at it. I know plenty of people who do smoke weed every day of their lives, but she looks high as a kite every time you see her, doesn't she? She looks very happy. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She looks like she's on a different planet.
She does.
I want to be on that planet with her.
For
Like,
sure,
I don't
especially
know what
with her.
she's doing. Yeah. She's hilarious. I
I agree. She's TV gold.
Yeah.
She does admit that she wished that she didn't hook up with O'Sheen, which is good. I'm glad she admits that. And then Lake and Michaels talk about their bonding over coming out.
But did she?
No,
She didn't.
really didn't. No.
No, she said at the reunion it was more of like, if straight people don't have to come out, why should I? Which I get. Like,
right.
I get it.
She's clearly only if she really is bisexual, which I'm not believing everything Lake is trying to sell, because I think that she wants to be on the show, and I think that she was doing what she had to get camera time, like the make out with Bradley in the hot tub and all that stuff. But if I totally forgot my train of thought.
I think that girl she was really with that girl. I think that was real. I don't think she would do that to that other girl and bring her on camera if that
Unless
wasn't
the other
real.
girl was, in on it and fine with it.
I mean,
she
I don't
doesn't
know.
want to
It looked-
disappoint her family, basically.
Yeah. It looked real to me. I'd rather her with anybody else except Brad. Like, no Brad. Like, when her and Brad, I was like, oh no. I was like, Lake, come on. I was like, come on.
He
No.
did the same thing with Lucia last year.
Yeah.
I was like, no. Anyone else.
Exactly.
So Michael's, he starts crying and he thought that, sharing his story would help him, with his relationship with his mother. And she never contacted him, not once.
That's great. No, well, she did.
Well, and then
she said, why are people telling me that you're kissing a man on
like,
TV?
so sad.
Right. It's so sad.
Yeah,
it really
this
is.
Who your son is, and he's just an amazing kid.
Like,
how could you not be super proud of him?
Like, all he's asking is just to love him for who he is, and that it just sucks. That sucks.
I'm glad that he's going to have a relationship with his siblings, which is good, and his aunt. He said,
yes,
yeah, so that's good. I think personally that Lake is just afraid of her father. I don't even think it's her mother. I think it's her father, and I think that she's just not ready, because she seeks his approval so much that she's going to go with his approval before she does anything for herself. I think that maybe once she gets a little bit older or is a little bit more independent because of her age and financial situation, I
Well,
think
yeah,
she
she talks
relies.
about her family's wealth enough to.
Yes.
It's a very clear picture.
I think she's afraid if she comes out, her dad's going to take all of that
It's
away.
going to cut
Right,
her
she'll
off.
get cut
Yeah.
off. Yep.
Mhm.
Right. So I think she tried it a little bit and then found out what was going to happen. And then
Took it right back.
yeah,
Yeah.
I don't think it's fake. I just think that
Mhm.
she needs the financial support, whereas Michael's is busting his ass and going to school and
Yeah.
working full time.
Independent.
And,
It was just like Andy like asking her like, "Do you still see yourself marrying a girl in the future?" And she was like, didn't really give an answer. She was kind of just like, "I end up with who I end up with." So I think
Right.
that's kind of her just pulling it back.
Yeah.
yeah, I do too. I think it's more
But
about
I mean, her
finance.
too. Like, she's clearly bi or fluid or whatever you want to call it. I
Mhm.
mean, she hooked up with the guy in Vegas. Not hooked up, but, she took the guy in Vegas back to her room.
Yeah.
So she's definitely attracted to men as well.
Mhm.
Then Andy brings up again about Will, that he's not here. And Emmy says that, his mental health can't take it. What? Wait, what? Come on.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
I mean, we are big mental health advocates on this show. We talk about it all the time, right? How important it is, how we can't ignore it. What about Emmy's mental health? Are you
Mhm.
kidding me? Are you kidding me?
Yeah, he definitely sent her out there by herself. I mean, she
Yep.
had Michael's there.
Yep.
I mean, none of them came at her hard. It's not. I'll
Mm-mm.
tell you what, the reunion did not go the way I thought it was going to go. I really thought that her and TJ were going to go at it, but I bet you it would have been a different reunion had they not blown the whistle on the whole Bradley and TJ making up the Trevor cheating story. I bet you it would have been more aggressive between those two.
Yeah, I think Will probably thought it was going to be a lot worse. So I think he just make Emmy look stupid and him be like, "Oh, I wasn't there, so there's something on me," kind of vibes.
Yeah.
Which no.
Yeah, he sent her out there by herself. I didn't love that.
Uh-huh.
No. I mean, Emmy said Will fucked up and he knows he fucked up. And Leva's telling her, Emmy, to stop carrying Will's stuff. Like, stop being, his keep. Like, you don't have to protect him.
Right.
And Emmy doesn't know where she stands with Brad and TJ. Well, I mean, I know where you stand. I mean, they're not your friend. You're not, like, that's where you stand.
Yeah.
I did think what Molly said was nice. Molly says to Emmy that she sees so much potential in her because Molly and Emmy really didn't get along at all. And I think that was nice of her to give her that grace because Emmy can be something. And she's been standing in Will's shadow for so long. She needs to go out and, flourish and be the best Emmy she can be.
Yeah. And like, listen, no shade to any stay-at-home mom because it is an incredibly difficult job.
Right.
And women do that obviously so that their children can benefit from it. And there's huge. That's something to truly be proud of. But when you're 25 and you should have aspirations, like you shouldn't just be like, I'm going to work here until he marries me and then I'm just going to raise kids. I don't know. Maybe I sound like an asshole saying that, but I feel like she should want more right now, even if you want to be that stay-at-home mom in 5 years. Right now, you have the potential to do anything you want. So do it. And then in 5 years, you could say I did that and now I'm going to stay home and raise my family.
I agree. I think Emmy just really needs to find herself. I think she's just trapped in this mindset of like me and Will forever when it's like that's not really reality. She needs to kind of like step out of the bubble.
Yeah, and it's even if there were no cheating rumors and even if he were the best guy on earth, there's still no guarantee. I mean, we've seen marriages break up. We're like, holy shit, they're getting divorced? Like relationships you never expect it from.
Yeah. It happens. It happens. That it happens. But I just feel like as a woman, because that's what I am, so that's what I can speak on. You should never put all your eggs in someone else's basket. You should be able to stand on your own.
Right.
And it's just that simple. I mean, she's a beautiful girl. She's got a head on her shoulders. She can stand on her own. Yeah. And I don't think she thinks she can. So hopefully she comes back next season and whether she's with Will or not, I hope she's at least standing high and doing something for her.
Right.
Yeah, I agree. And I also feel like once you're in that mindset, like it's really hard for you to come out of it. Like when everybody is coming at you at once, being like, you should break up with him. He's saying this, he's doing this. And like, at the end of the day, Emmy's not going to listen to anybody except herself. So that's kind of like everyone else needs to just butt out. Let her figure it out.
It's a natural reaction to get defensive of the person they're saying is betraying you. It's a natural reaction to just get it's like your kids. It's a natural reaction to get defensive if somebody says something about them.
I agree.
So the more they come at her, the more defensive she's going to get.
Yeah.
And the more she's going to pull away, and it's going to get worse. And especially not like TJ blowing up about Will being like, I bet you F that girl, whatever, that he was like yelling in their face, and he was like, he's gonna bring you down. And I think, not that I liked what he said, but I do think it's kind of true.
Yeah, I hope not.
I guess we're gonna have to wait and see for season 4. We have to wait and see what happens.
Yeah, but this was a great season. This was a good season.
It was a good
season.
season.
A great show. It's clearly the new Vanderpump Rules.
Yes. And I'm like,
Fill that
Andy,
void.
give him an actual reunion.
Yes.
Not on the, watch
At
what
the
happens
clubhouse.
Live. Exactly. Yeah. No, you're absolutely right. They needed a real reunion.
Like, I want a 3-part fight reunion.
I don't know about 3.
Out.
I don't. It was only 10 episodes.
I know. Well, we need longer episodes, but with them, like, I could watch a 3-part reunion and just eat it up. Especially with Grace Lily, I can't.
Yeah, just give her whole episode to herself.
One episode, yeah. Ugh.
You think Vanderpump Rules is really going to come back with an all-new cast?
Yeah.
I think so, yeah. But it's not going to be the same.
It's not going to be the same.
No.
We're going to be comparing it to everybody else, and
Yeah, no. I just wish... I don't know. I don't know what they're going to do. I hope
they should just put Lisa Vanderpump back on Beverly Hills.
They should.
They really should. At this point, put her back on. Kyle can decide if she wants to stay or go. She's going to stay. Put her back on and let her play with all of them.
I don't think Lisa would go back on.
I do.
You do? I don't think she would.
I recently saw a video
just
of her.
Wants to be on TV.
I mean, that's true. But I feel like with Beverly Hills, I'm not too sure, though. Because she did say when pigs fly, she'll go back on.
Yeah.
And I don't know.
I think she would.
I don't think so.
It would be really cool if she did, though.
I
honestly want Lisa Rinna back. Let's bring her back. She was funny.
I do, too. Because I've said it before, I'll say it again. I think every single thing Lisa Rinna said about Kathy
Hilton, yeah,
was 100% true. And I think that Kathy somehow got it shut down. And when Lisa Rinna found out, she was like, F you to Bravo. You're not going to show any of that. You have proof right there, and you're not going to show it. I'm out.
Yeah.
I think Lisa quit because of that.
Oh,
so
yeah.
I say bring Rinna back.
She did.
Well, I think they're all afraid of Kathy.
Oh, they're all afraid of Kathy. It drives me crazy. Even Erica Jane now, who I never thought would be, I think she is too. She's drinking the Kool-Aid at least. Maybe she's not scared, but she's drinking the Kool-Aid.
I have to say, I really like Erica though. I wasn't a big fan in the past, but recently this season with Dorit and stuff, I'm really liking her.
She's coming back. Like, I think it was hard to like her when she was kind of playing victim when everything was going down with her husband.
Yeah.
It's like, all right, come on. You were wearing the $1 million earrings. I mean, but I think she's making a good comeback.
All right. So we're going to have to wait and see what happens on next season. It was great having you on, Olivia. If you want to come on and talk about
you guys.
Any other Bravo shows, just send me a text and we'll get you on
right.
because we talk about them all. Have you watched Denise Richards yet?
No, I haven't, which I'm actually curious to see how that is.
I haven't watched it either yet.
Well, I watched it. So you two watch it. And then if you're interested in talking about it, shoot over a text and
I'd love to.
We'll make it happen. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Until next time, thank you for watching and listening to We Wine Whenever. Bye.
Bye.